Yeah, I kind of hinted to it. One thing, big thing, is that the big thing is farming is more like a shotgun approach. You know, it's larger and your perspective is more broad. Um,
And gardening, especially the type we're doing, is someone who is wealthy. So it's more the exotic kind of vegetables or luxury vegetables. So, for example, we classify a asparagus as luxury because for 2 months out of the year you have food, and for 10 months you don't have anything. So you have to have the wealth to have the ground. Um, also, so something like a pomegranate, this is very exotic in the 18th century. This plant comes from the other side of the world. It's the largest plant exchange occurs in the 18th century. And so in a garden, you'll find these kind of plants where you will not find them on farms. So even on large plantations, you'll find possibly these small pleasure gardens, and they would be growing things like this because if you have a pomegranate and no one else has one, that's also the name of the game back then, like it is today.
well, just like pleasure gardens, grow neat and exotic things. I mean, we grow this basic thing right here, corn. And corn is everything to people now. When people see it here, it's dried, and that's often today they think of it as livestock food, but this is human food today. And in the 18th century, it's just ground up, it's processed for grits, cornmeal, cornbread. You know what I mean? But we do grow food as well, but we also tend to focus also on money crops like tobacco.
So while Ed is growing a field of corn, I have a very small
Nice.
patch, and the
Yeah.
gentleman in his garden would be eating it as green corn very early. So sweet corn hasn't really been bred yet. You're eating the corn of that day is more like a field corn. So a gentleman would eat it very green, very young, and it's still sweet.
Oh, while we're on the subject of corn, there's another product that I wanted to share with you. There's the grain, of course, but there's also the leaves. Now, today we often think that the grain is for livestock. Well, a little bit just to fatten them, but these are the blades or leaves pulled off. And we use this in the 18th century to feed our livestock, horses and cattle. The hogs, they're fine out there in the woods.